Ooh. Hey YouTube, I'm Kristen and this is my channel, the POA Farmer. For those of you who have never heard of a POA, it's similar to an HOA, except instead of being the homeowners association, it's a property owner association. Basically, well, the long and the short of it is not everybody who lives in my neighborhood lives here full time. So they may just own property here versus actually making it their home or homestead. When I moved this area about 5 years ago, I moved in this neighborhood about 5 years ago. It's North Texas, and so I'd grown up in the relative area most of my life. I was born not far from here, but I bought my first home in this neighborhood, and it's a POA. With a property owners association, you have some rules and regulations for what you can do. And I moved from a house that was a 2-story to my current home about a year ago. And in the old house, I had some raised standing beds on a deck off of my second floor. It was an odd shaped house, so just know it worked. Where I tried my hand at gardening vegetables for the very first time. Didn't really have a clue of what I was doing, just tried it. I then got my license to be a foster mom, and in the winter of that year, I got my very first placement. So, all that fun adventure to be said, with my placement, the next year, having a tiny human running around, she was probably about, I want to say 8 months by the time the heat of summer really came along. And so we didn't really do a great job of gardening that year. I still tried. COVID had happened. I was in the middle of getting to work from home, so my world changed a good bit. But I found that I enjoyed being outdoors and really trying to grow all of these vegetables and things. Fast forward, my placement is now my daughter. I adopted her this last spring. And in that, I really started looking into what I was feeding her. Now, not that I didn't care beforehand, but when you're a foster parent, you have certain rules and regulations. Sounds familiar, like my POA. And you do want to honor the family's traditions. But if they didn't have anything restrictive about food or anything that might change, you're welcome to take care of your kiddo the way that you would a biological kiddo. It became more important to me because my child has some medical conditions that could impact her future. So I wanted to make sure she was getting all the nutrients she possibly needed. And I started reading the back of the labels for some of the food I was purchasing. Got a little scary on some of the things. I didn't realize that I literally eat the coating on shredded cheese when you get it packaged is made of wood. It's a derivative from trees. Now, I like growing trees. I like having trees. Didn't exactly want to eat the trees. So, that being said, I already knew I liked growing things. It's good for me to be outside. I enjoy being in the garden. And I actually figured out I could do it. Now, let's not get too excited. I'm not going to say I'm the best at it. I will not lie to you. This is a learning channel. Now that I have a larger backyard, I decided to basically turn my backyard into a mini farm, a giant garden, so to speak. I'm going to try a few different things over the years, starting with I've expanded from having 1 strip of garden to 3 long rows, and I'm going to add some cattle panels in this year. I have grow lights in my spare bedroom that will eventually be placed with another kiddo when I open my home back up for another placement. But in the meantime, they're growing little seedlings instead of little people. And I'm planning for the future. You're going to get to watch me try to cook with everything I grow, not just the things I grow, because I am in a POA, so I have some restrictions on what I can do out there. But nobody said I couldn't have a garden. And so I'm going to expand on that. I'm going to test the limits a little bit, find out what's actually in our bylaws. What can I raise, not just grow? And what can I do with the space that I have? It's my land. I want to take advantage of it. What am I allowed to have? I know I'm not allowed to have chickens yet. The current egg crisis may change everybody's opinion on that. I personally would think having a few people in the neighborhood who could raise chickens and have some eggs at a lower cost than what you get at the grocery store, just throwing that out there. If anybody from my neighborhood's watching, help me pass the new law. We'll see. But there's other things that I could grow. Maybe there's other restrictions that aren't there yet. So I'll be digging into all of that to try to figure out what I could possibly do with my yard. I know I can grow vegetables. I know there's certain fruits I could grow. And I know it's that time of year. I'm going to try to find new recipes and cook with everything. I'm trying to learn how to use cast iron skillets more, making my own bread, because how many ingredients are on the back of that package? Making the food that my kiddo eats from home. At the start of this year, I decided I was going to do as much as I could to avoid eating fast food anymore. I am a French fry queen. I love me some fast food. But it's not budget friendly and it's not healthy. I don't like knowing some of the things that are going into the food, or better yet, not knowing what's in it. If I can cook at home with natural ingredients, I'm one step closer. Now, I'm not going to pretend that I'm going to go all in immediately. I still have processed foods in my home. I still have things I purchase from the grocery store because I can't grow everything in my POA farm. But I can try to do a lot of it, and I'll take you along the journey with me, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who either are constrained by space, time, or even rules and regulations like me. Some of your neighborhoods may not allow you to do a lot, like me. To add to the fun, I am a single foster and adoptive mom. So all that happens for my kiddos, it's on me. I work full time. Luckily, I have a kind of job that is based in technology, so I have a little bit more wiggle room. But as a quick introduction to my channel, I thought you needed to know the basics. My name's Kristen. I am a mom to an adoptive daughter. She's 2. She's precious. You may see a little bit of her, but I will mostly keep her out of the videos. Not for any particular reason than just her privacy, but you'll probably see a good bit of her still, just the nature of being on the camera. I have 2 dogs. I have a decent plot of land, and I will be fostering. You hear one of the dogs in the background. That's Siva. She's a German Shepherd. She talks a lot. I also have Sven, who's a Boxer Beagle mix. He may howl a few times. We're going to try to keep him out of it. But come along with me on the journey, see what I can do. I have some videos I'm going to throw out there for you. I do have another channel that will probably focus more on the fostering aspect of my life and organization. But when it comes to the actual farm, my POA farm, my giant garden, this is the channel for you. So I hope you enjoy getting to see us, getting to know us, and learning with us, because I'm not an expert. We're doing this together. And so I hope you have a great day. Check out our next round of videos to see some of the things we're growing, even though it's January. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, y'all.